What if I told you that everything you're complaining about right now is something that you're choosing? The life you want is right there, but you're still stuck in the same place and you're holding yourself back. No one else is. This is your wake up call because every single day you waste and you don't take action is you choosing to stay exactly where you have been for many years. By the end of this episode, you're gonna realize how much power you really have to take control of your life and change it so you can truly live the dream life you've always wanted. So let's stop waiting around and start doing something about it. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Do You Like You podcast. My name is Divya. I'm 25 years old and I'm your host. I'm a bit nervous today because it's my first YouTube video, guys. So, I've always recorded my episodes, but this is my first time posting it on YouTube. So, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm really excited. So, now with the new year, there was one quote that kind of stuck with me when I was scrolling on social media. This creator posted this beautiful girl. She said, "What you're not changing, you're choosing." And it hit hard, okay? It literally hit me so hard because it took me back to when I graduated uni and how afraid I was to step outside of my comfort zone because all my life I was so used to a routine. Every year I knew what I was gonna do. After I finished primary school, I go to secondary school. After secondary school, I go to poly or JC, and then after poly or JC you go to uni. And it's like after uni you can pursue your masters, but if you don't want to, then you take up a job, right? I didn't know what to do with that sense of freedom that I can decide what job I want to take, what I want to pursue. And it's not that I'm not grateful for that freedom, but it was just so scary. It's like nobody prepares you for how scary change is. And the reason why a lot of people do struggle with change is because that means you're sacrificing what you're so used to and what you're so comfortable being around. Like, for example, you're someone who really wants to like travel and maybe you want to spend like a month or two abroad, and it's like you really want to do it, but you're so afraid because that means that you can't be in your house all the time and you're going to be like surrounded with foreigners and in a foreign country and you don't know how that's gonna be. But let me just tell you, if you don't take that leap of faith, you are gonna grow up to regret not doing it. Like, there's always this thing that keeps running in my head. It's like when you're 60 or 80 years old, do you really want to look back and realize that I worried so much about the what ifs and the should ifs when I should have just done something if I knew it was going to make me happy? You don't know if living abroad is going to make you happy until you actually try it. It's like if imagine it's something you've always wanted to do and you don't do it because you're scared, because you don't know. Let me just tell you, a lot of people who started something started not knowing shit. Like, literally, you can ask entrepreneurs, business owners, anyone who moved abroad, did they really know what the hell they were doing? No. Some people just learn along the way. But that's part of the process. That's the reason why they're living the life that they've always wanted to live, because they weren't afraid to take that step. And if you're someone who truly wants more for your life, but you're not willing to step outside of your comfort zone, do you really want your dreams bad enough? The reason why you're not changing is because you don't have a system. You only have goals. And what I mean by that, I want you guys to look at the vision board that you drew up for your 2025. Does your vision board only have the goals you want to achieve? Or does it also have the process? So supposing you want to get straight A's, okay? So you have a picture of your results slip, all A's. Do you also have a picture of a person studying or you studying? Because that is the process. For you to get straight A's, you need to study. And I feel like a lot of us, we focus so much on the main goal, on numbers and like what we want to achieve. And that's not wrong. You should have those goals in mind. But that shouldn't be something you remember and put in your head every single day. The thing that you should be thinking about is, what am I going to do to achieve that goal? What is the system I need to follow? And I got this from Atomic Habits, which is a book that I'm currently reading by James Clear. So credits to him for like talking about this, but it really opened my eyes. I was like, all my life, well, not all my life, majority of my life, I was always focused on my main goal. I didn't have a system. Like I would say I want to get A on something, but then I would just have that A in my mind. I wouldn't think about what do I have to do to get that A. You get what I mean? So I feel like you're not changing because you don't know the route to achieving what you want or living the dream life that you want. Like supposing you want to live abroad, fine. What are you going to do to live abroad? You're going to get a job to save money. You're going to search for like apartments that you can rent. Are you going to search for a roommate? You can't just set a goal without knowing what you need to do to achieve that goal. You want to be a singer, but instead of just saying, I am going to be a successful singer, ask yourself, what do you need to do to become a successful singer? You need to write your own songs. You need to find a producer. You need to take part in local, I don't know, like gigs, like local gigs. You need to make friends with other singers in your country. You need to connect with people. Like these are things you need to do in order to be a successful singer. If you're not willing to put in the work, you're not going to be able to achieve your goals. I want to move on to my second point, which is to stop complaining about toxic people if you're not willing to get rid of them. You need to take care of yourself before you take care of others. And if you grew up being a people pleaser, you are an empath, you're an elder daughter, or if you're someone that was basically made to feel that you need to care for other people before you care for yourself, I know it's so hard to put yourself first and let go of people who don't allow you to do it. Like, I know what it's like to grow up being told and being made to feel like if you're selfless, it means that you're a good person. It's like, no, I'm sorry, like, I don't relate to that anymore. Because if you don't look out for yourself, who is going to? You are not responsible for regulating other people's emotions, like absorbing their negativity or taking in their bad day. It's like you're not responsible for all these people's feelings. You need to worry about your own. Supposing you're having the best day ever and then someone comes and tell you like, oh my god, I had a really shitty day. You're telling me their shitty day is going to affect your good day. You let someone else's feelings and emotions consume you that much. If that's the case, they might as well be the main character of your life, because you seem to consume their energy more than you consume your own energy. I definitely relate to this because I'm someone that absorbs people's feelings a lot. Like when I see someone cry, I cry. When I see someone going through a tough time, I really feel for them, and sometimes I take it in. Like if someone comes and tells me like, oh my god, I'm going through a breakup, I start to reminisce about my breakups, and then I feel so like horrible for them that I just want to make sure they are okay, and then I let their emotions get to me, and it's not their fault. It's just that's who I am. And I used to hate that about myself because it's like, why do I want to keep adding on to the stress I already have? Like, I deal with my own emotions. Why do I want to make myself even more miserable? I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to have the best day of my life turn into the worst day of my life just because someone sat there and said, I'm having a really bad day. Please listen to me. It's like, yes, listen to them, but don't absorb their emotions. You were not responsible for their bad day. I think another reason why it's so hard for people to take care of themselves is all along, I feel like there was this phrase of you have to be the bigger person. And oh my god, I hate the bigger person phrase so much, because to me, I just feel like if you tell someone to be the bigger person, you are just dismissing their feelings. Like, you don't want to recognize what they're going through. You just want to blame them for how they react to someone else's disrespect. And for so long, I have always been told, be the bigger person, Divya. You are more mature, you're more resilient. And it's like, yes, I am more resilient, I am more mature, but that doesn't mean my feelings are invalid and I don't have the right to be upset. I don't have to be a bigger person to someone who is a nasty person. Why can't people hold the person who hurt others accountable instead of getting mad at those who got affected? It's like not fair. Then you're just enabling that other person's mistakes. You're enabling their behavior, and they're just going to keep hurting people until someone calls them out. You were expected to put your feelings on hold, which is why you struggle to take care of yourselves and put your feelings and your needs before other people. But there's nothing shameful about doing that. Being selfish is such like a negative thing nowadays. It's like if someone sees that you take care of yourself and you put your priorities first, you're like selfish. It's like, why? If I'm not selfish with my needs and my time, who's gonna respect my time and my needs? It's like you won't get into a relationship with someone who doesn't respect you, right? It's the same thing. It's like, why would I want to show people that I will put myself on the receiving end of every situation just to cater to their needs? That's just going to lead to me being taken advantage of. And I know what it's like to be taken advantage of. Like, I'm someone who has tried the selfless and the selfish route. I, for one, know what it's like to be selfless. I don't know if you guys can relate, but have you ever dropped everything that you're currently doing just to be there for someone? It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could even be a stranger. You drop everything that you're doing just to make sure that they are okay. Maybe they're going through a breakup, maybe they had a bad day, and you realize that when you do those things, you don't expect anything in return, but you slowly start to see how that's becoming a habit. Like, people start relying on you, and when they realize that you don't expect that reciprocation and you're only doing it out of the kindness of your heart, you get taken advantage of. It's like, oh, this person is always readily available for me. And I'm a caring person. Like, I genuinely love to care for people that I love. But when I realized that I was caring for people who just wanted to use me, it was the most shitty feeling I've ever had in my life. Like, I just felt like I was only in their life to serve them. And that's not the kind of life that I want to live. Like, that's not who I am. Like, I wasn't put onto this earth to please anyone but myself. And if people in your life are making you feel like that, they are not your people. Being selfish doesn't make you a bad person. Being selfish just means that you finally realize that prioritizing yourself and your needs matter more than prioritizing other people's needs and feelings, because some people just don't appreciate it. So my next point is something that definitely hits a nerve, because I've struggled with this. So when I was in my process of taking care of myself and learning that I need to prioritize myself, the one thing I couldn't help but realize was, all my life people have not defended me. Like, I have defended people in my circle, people that I love, people that I appreciate, but I just felt like my energy wasn't being reciprocated. Like, there could be a friend who would have been so nasty to me and hurt me so much, and the friends I used to have would still associate themselves with those people. And it made me, like, it was so hurtful. It's like you're seeing the people who said they will have your backs, people who are supposed to be your friends, knowingly hanging out with those who emotionally and mentally drain you. Like, that's the biggest betrayal ever. I wondered why it was so easy for everyone else to defend those they love, but when it comes to me, why is it so difficult for people to defend me? I will go above and beyond to defend those that I love. Like, I cannot bear to see my friends or my family members, whoever that matters so much to me, I can't bear to see them hurt and get like knocked down. And I just never understood people who were okay to see their loved one upset by someone else. Like, even right there, you see your loved one get hurt and you don't even say anything about it. You don't even take your loved one away. Like, I don't get it. Ask yourself, all the tough times you went through, like, yeah, your friends and your family would have been there, but majority of the things that you went through, you lifted yourself up. You picked yourself up on your own. You showed up for yourself. So why in the world would you not take care of yourself first before you take care of other people? Once you realize that you need to start taking care of yourself, and once you get comfortable with taking care of yourself first, that's when the next step comes into place, where you need to start taking action on who to get rid of. I know it's so difficult to leave people and distance yourself from people that you're so used to being around, but trust me when I say holding on to these people is causing you more harm than good. I want to start off with friends. So I feel like getting rid of friends is really easy. I don't know about you guys, but if you have toxic friends in your life, it's so easy to just not speak to them anymore. Like, if it's someone that has disrespected you time and time again, I don't find the need to explain myself to people like that. Like, they knowingly do things that's hurting you, and even though you've tried to tell them like, hey, I don't appreciate you doing this, they still treat you like shit. Like, these are the people you just cut off and move on with your life. Like, block them. Or if you don't want to block, just like stop talking to them. And trust me when I say, when you stop talking to these people, they stop talking to you. Because a lot of these times, these people, they only come to you and hang out with you because you have initiated all the meetups and the conversations. And if you don't believe me, go and scroll through your chat. You'll realize that at least 90% of the time, you're the one initiating everything. Once you start to learn to not internalize all the bad things that people say about you, that's when you gain control back. Because every single time you have allowed what people say about you get to you, and you allow their words consume your energy, your emotions, and you in general, which is why you're miserable. But once you tell yourself that what these people say doesn't define me, and I'm just gonna let them say what they want, you take back your control. You don't have to feel sorry for distancing yourself from people who genuinely affect you mentally and emotionally. And I know that you are empathetic and you feel guilty because you so badly want that relationship or that friendship with this person. But you need to remember that you didn't break this bond. They are responsible for that. You have nothing to be sorry about because the loss of this relationship or friendship is theirs to bear. You tried and tried and tried, but every time you did, they disrespected you. And they showed you who they really are. That they're people that should not be in your life. Don't waste your life giving love to people who don't deserve that love. I think the one thing I started getting comfortable with was being okay to let people go because I knew I wasn't a problem. Because I am self aware enough to know that I make mistakes and I hurt people. But if people don't realize that what they say to me is hurtful, and every time I try to tell someone like, what you did, I didn't appreciate it and I got really hurt, and all they do is gaslight me into thinking that I'm wrong for how I feel, and all they do is tell me like, oh, you're sensitive, and it's like I started to realize that that's not my problem. The fact that you're calling me names instead of really listening to me as a friend, as a partner, or whatever, already shows that the love I have for you is different from the love that you have for me. And I'm not responsible for your bad behavior. Bullies can come in forms of any age. Like, bullies are not just 13 or 15-year-olds, like there are bullies in their 20s, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Like, there's no age limit to bullies. There's no age limit to hurting people. Like, people are nasty in this world. And I used to have so much guilt leaving behind friendships and relationships with people because I would hold on to memories and I would always try to see the good in people. Give people the benefit of the doubt when in reality, why am I giving excuses for people who don't deserve that empathy? The people who hurt you don't care about you. And while you're busy trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, they are plotting the next time they can bully you and insult you to make you feel bad about yourself. When it's like, I'm glad that you're a good person and you're nothing like them, but sometimes being a good person doesn't mean you shouldn't have boundaries. Like, have boundaries to the point where you know what you should and shouldn't tolerate. Like, it's not okay to tolerate being bullied. Like, when you sit in a group setting, if every time you speak, you get interrupted, you get shot down, you get disrespected, like, are these people really your people? Because your people would actually listen to you. Your people would actually appreciate what you say. They wouldn't sit at that table and call you names or like invalidate how you feel or make you feel shitty. Like, you're not supposed to leave that table feeling crappy about yourself, especially if you're in a circle where people are supposed to love you, like your friends, your family, your partner. Like, these are people who are supposed to be in your life. They're supposed to add value into your life. They're not supposed to act as haters. So if you're telling me you sit down like for dinner or for lunch and you feel miserable and then you get up, you feel even more miserable, like, I'm so sorry, but you're around toxic people and you're the only person that can control whether you want to still keep them in your life. And you're a fool if you still keep these people in your life. Because why I say that, That just shows that what you're not changing, you're choosing. You're choosing to be around toxic people, and you have no one to blame but yourself. I want to move on to my final point, which is you can't want more if you don't work more. And I'm speaking directly to those who are ambitious but lazy, which is something that I have seen all over Pinterest and YouTube. Like, everybody's talking about it, and oh my god, like, they couldn't phrase it any better. Like, truly, there are some ambitious people out there who are genuinely lazy. Like, they have big dreams, but they don't want to put in the work. They want to, but when they sit down to do work, they get up within 5 minutes because they're like, oh my god, it's so hard. Like, yes, the dreams you want is hard to get, because that's what hard work and success takes. That's what success takes. It's gonna take hard work. It's gonna take sleepless nights. It's gonna take a lot of effort. There's people who are gonna doubt you. There's people who are gonna try to tear you down, and you need to be strong enough to endure all that, because your eyes should always be on the system and the goal. When I was younger, I was heavily underestimated. I was met with constant daily criticism. I grew up thinking I wasn't good enough for academics, for friends, because I was constantly compared to and made to think that I need to prove my worth in order to be cared for, in order to be successful. At a really young age, I mastered the art of resilience, because I had a teeny bit of confidence left after I entered my teenage life. Because when I was a child, I was confident, but as a teenager, like, I slowly lost it. But I had that teeny bit of confidence left in me, and I turned that into resilience, because there was something in me that said that I need to prove these people wrong. I know that I can prove these people wrong, and no matter what people say about me, it doesn't define me. Like, I'm not gonna let this 40-year-old teacher who's miserable right now tell me that I'm not capable of what I want to achieve in life. And I remember every single year I was met with some obstacle. Like, one year I would fail 5 subjects. The next year I would fail like 7 subjects, for example. It's like there was always one obstacle that I would go through, and I would just feel so shitty. Like, damn, like, she's right. Like, maybe I am not good enough. But slowly, as I progressed and I got older and I started getting more mature, started to realize a lot of things, I started to do what I was passionate about, and I regained my confidence. And I told myself that if I want something in my life, I need to work hard for it. So I worked hard for it. And I kept working and working and working. And finally, when I was 23, I graduated with my degree in the classification that I'm so proud of myself for. I know you guys have probably heard this story like a million times on my podcast, but the reason why I say this is genuinely, like, I think this is a story that I need to share, because a lot of you out there need to realize that it took me how many years? I was 6 years old when I entered the education system, because in Singapore it's like 6 years old primary school, right? I was 23, so do the math. That's about like 17 years. It took me 17 years, okay, to prove these people wrong. 17 years. Can you believe that? That's crazy. And you're upset because you haven't achieved your goals in a year. Are you kidding me? It's so easy to get lost in the process when you want more for your life and you know you can achieve something. But trust me when I say, when you just stick to it and you just follow through and you trust that everything is going to work out, you get closer and closer to your dream life. Another thing a lot of you struggle with is being jealous of people on social media, which is normal. Like, even I struggle with jealousy. I would see people living an even better life than I am and feel resentful. It's like, damn, it only took them 3 months. I focus more on what I was seeing on social media, which is something that's curated. Like, people only show what they want you to see. I think you need to realize that if you're not working hard to get the dreams that you want to achieve, you cannot be feeling bitter and jealous. Like those people you see online living in amazing apartments and getting invited to like brand deals, or like, scoring amazing test results, getting into their dream school. It's like, these people worked hard. Not everyone gets everything handed to them. Like a lot of people you see who are successful are self-made and they have experienced failure. Some just don't talk about it, and that's fine. Nobody's entitled to talk about their failures. But you cannot just judge someone based on what you see online. And what's to say that you can't have that dream life? You can. But you're not doing anything about it. You're not changing. You are choosing to be the same. You are choosing this life that you're miserable in. You have no one to blame but yourself. Hold yourself accountable. If you want to be a content creator but you're not posting consistently every single day, how can you be a content creator? If you want to be an athlete but you're not going to the gym, you're not training every day, how can you be an athlete? You cannot be lazy and ambitious at the same time. Choose one. Choose to be lazy, choose to be ambitious. It can't be both. If you want to be ambitious, you need to be prepared to put in the work. And I mean real work. Like every single time you feel like giving up, remind yourself that there's someone who has the same dreams that you have, that's getting up at 4:30 a.m. and working all the way through 7 p.m. because they want their dreams that bad. And I'm not telling you to do that because like you work smart. I believe in work smart over work hard. But you cannot expect greatness if you're only gonna put in this much effort. Like, I'm sorry, you need to put in more. And I know that you're capable of doing that. And I know you're capable of achieving your dreams. Why don't you have that same belief that I have in you? You need to want your dreams bad enough that you're willing to do anything legal, to get the dream life that you want. What you're not changing, you're choosing. Before I end this episode, I want to give a little message to those who are working hard but seeing little to no progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your dream life. How can you be moving backwards if you are working hard in the direction of your dreams? When you focus less on the results and you focus more on the system, you shift your perspective from I haven't accomplished my goals yet to I'm one step closer to accomplishing everything that I want. I know it's so like demotivating when you're working so hard every single day for months and years. You're putting in the work. You are working 10 times harder than a lot of people that you know, and it might seem like everything that you do is not getting you to what you want. But the reason why you feel that way is because you're not looking at the process. You're not looking at those small wins. You're only focused on the end goal. Which, yes, you should be looking at the end goal, but it shouldn't be your main focus. It's like supposing you want to learn fashion design. So you start sketching and you start giving it to like, I don't know, like clients and like customers. And it's like, because you're not getting any customers who are buying your designs, you feel shitty about yourself. You're like, damn, like, am I not good enough? Like, oh my god, maybe I should just give this up because it's not working out. When in reality, you're not looking at your designs. Like, look at your designs. You have gotten better. You're telling me you have drawn like 50 designs. And as you've progressed to the first, to the 40th, you have not gotten better? Because you don't recognize your small wins, that's why you're in this mindset. Trust me when I say, when you have a new perspective, like after listening to this episode, you have a new perspective right here. To start embracing the small wins and embracing everything that you have learned, trust me when I say you will start to see bigger change in your life. Because when you appreciate the small wins, big wins start coming to you. We have come to the end of today's episode. I hope it wasn't as long as I thought it would be. I feel like I've yapped for an hour. And I'm sorry if you're watching this on YouTube and I look kind of awkward. I promise I'm going to get better with this. This is my first time. It's my first ever YouTube video and I'm so excited to start this journey. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and clicking on this episode to listen to me. I hope you guys feel more motivated, and remember, in a world where you feel like no one believes in you, I believe in you. Like, I truly believe in you. So go out there, get everything that you want in this life, because always remember that you are capable of achieving anything you want, anything you set your mind to. There's nothing in this world that is impossible. Anything is possible if you want it bad enough. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to my episode today. I will see you guys in my next episode. Bye guys. I love y'all.